Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. It is Thursday, July, what is the day? The 7th, I'm sorry. Thursday, July 7th. I just wanted to share with you a little bit. On yesterday, I was the featured guest on John Maxwell's weekly Max Chat. And so I did the law of reflection on yesterday. And so I'll be just sharing with you a little bit on the law of reflection on today. And the law of reflection states that reflection allows us to pause so that growth can catch up with us. So reflection is learning to pause so that the growth can catch up with you. Many times we're so busy with the responsibilities with our families, in ministry, in business. We're so busy that we very rarely pause. Now, my husband and I started something 13 years ago that one weekend out of every month, actually before the year comes in, we already blocked that weekend off for the entire year. So that weekend is booked in my calendar before I put anything else in our calendar. And if somebody calls and they need us, my response is I'm not available that weekend. I don't tell them why, because my family is just as important as someone else's needs. And so the law of reflection, it deals specifically with that. It allows growth to catch up with you. Another thing about the law of reflection is it encourages us not to let people we meet and experiences we have pass us by without reflecting on them. There are some times that you meet people and they make a significant impact in our lives, and we're so busy that we never take the time to actually process what just happened. The same thing with great major experiences that we have in our life. We have to pause and slow down and process it. Now, the way you process it is by asking yourself very honest questions, like what did I learn today? What experiences did I have today? What opportunities did I have today? Did I initiate those opportunities? Did I take them? Because there were a lot of times that opportunities came my way and I let them pass me by for many reasons. Some of them was fear of success. Some were valuable reasons because I just in that season in my life, I just did not have time to take on something else. But you have to stop and be honest with yourself and answer those questions in order for the law of reflection to really work in your life. And so the law of reflection talks about the power of pausing. So the next three points that I'll share with you talks about why that pause is so powerful. The first thing is reflection turns experience into insight. Reflection turns experience into insight. So you take that experience and you learn from it. You dissect it. Because if you want to be successful, you have to develop systems and processes. So we have to look at those experiences and see what worked, what didn't work, what changes do we need to make, how can we move forward, how can we make it better? Did our team get the same type of insight, or does our team have the same type of feedback that we would have? So pausing turns that experience into insight that you can use for the next experience. The second thing is everyone needs a time and place to pause, and it must be intentional. No matter who you are, no matter what's going on, you have to have a time to slow down and to reflect. Sometimes you just need to slow down and rest. And in your resting, you get clarity. Because when we're so busy being pulled from this place and that place and moving from one assignment to the next, we never take time to really celebrate our progress. It's so important. One of our coaches, Melissa West, she tells us every month that we are to celebrate our successes. Because instead, if we don't do that on purpose, what happens is we're constantly dealing with what we didn't do instead of celebrating the part that we did get accomplished. So you're worth celebrating yourself. The third thing is reflection allows life's markers to become life's makers. Reflection allows life's markers to become life's makers. By identifying a time of change, transition, and transformation, they are those important pivotal moments in your life. Pausing is so important. And pausing expands our thinking. Because every leader that has had an impact on history practiced the discipline of solitude to think and plan. You cannot spend all of your time on social media or connecting face to face with people, or whether you're connected with them virtually. There has to be a time that you stop, you reflect, You plan what is working, what is not working, and make the necessary adjustments so that it can be, you can create some longevity, you can create some sustainability. Also, pausing is important because it helps us, instead of saying, I'm glad that's over, we can say, what did I learn? What can I learn from that? It changes our entire thought process. There's one study that I teach called Sometimes You Win and Sometimes You Learn. Pausing allows you to learn intentionally. And if you pause at strategic moments, you don't have to have that hard place because the saying typically says sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. You don't have to go through that loss if you pause before it gets to that place and make the necessary adjustments. And for leaders, 1 moment of intentional thought is worth more than an hour of talk. Because if you would just take a moment and put your thoughts to pen and paper and take a moment to work through the process in your mind, take it out of your mind and put it on paper, review it, see what's working, see what's not working. It opens a ton of doors, because for a leader, if you take 1 moment of intentional thought, of intentional process, man, we can talk about this one topic or this one point for over an hour, because a leader knows how to process those things. And then there's 4 P's to pausing. And then I'll come back tomorrow and share some more stuff with you. Pausing allows investigation, because when you pause, you investigate. It allows you to find the meaning in each experience. The second I is incubation. It allows enough time for our experience and our thoughts to grow to their full potential. And this is the one I'm going to talk about a little bit more. Incubation allows enough time for our experience and our thoughts to grow into full maturity. Incubation is taking an experience from life and putting it into a slow cooker of your mind to simmer for a while. How many times have we had a thought or we had an idea and we jumped on it without doing the proper research, without putting together the proper team, without doing the necessary behind the scenes work? Pausing allows you to allow your thought or your plan to actually have some substance. There are so many small businesses that start and close in the same year. We have to pause and get some substance, get some training, connect with the right people, network. There are many variables, but what I'm saying is make sure that when you do launch out, that you have paused and that you have allowed this thing to grow on the inside of you. Incubation gives us time to listen and learn from prior experiences and from other people's experiences. We have to do our research. And incubation allows us to fully develop the thought, plan, or business idea so that it has enough substance, not only to bring satisfaction to me, not only to bring satisfaction to you, but to bring satisfaction to the people that you'll serve in that capacity. The third I is illumination, the process of placing value on your experiences. Your experiences do have value, especially for those who charge for your services. One of the things that I have seen with my coaching clients is one of the biggest struggles is placing charging. Now, what our coach told us is if you have 2 prices, if you're struggling between a really, really high price and a really, really low price, you probably need to charge the low price, because that's the one you're going to be confident in charging. But as an entrepreneur, as you take time to pause and you put a value to your experiences. You put a value to the time that you put in training, to the time that you put into your resources, to the time that you put in allowing this thing to grow and develop. Then the value changes. But it first has to change on the inside of you. And pausing allows you to take time to do that. And so that's what illumination is. And the fourth I is illustration. Making your experience teachable, actually taking what you have learned and putting it into a system so that you can share it now with somebody else. Because there are many of us that are successful because of the impact that somebody else's experience has had on our life, because another coach invested in us, because another entrepreneur has shared their experiences, their highs and their lows, what to do, what not to do, things to avoid. They've shared resources. So once you begin to put a value on your resource and put a value on your time, and now you can reproduce that and make it into something teachable, now you've really added some substance to that thing that God has called you to do. So there is power in reflection, pausing, slowing down, resting. It brings balance to what it is that we have to offer to the world. And I hope that you have a great day. Let's talk again real soon.